Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the Daily Live. Monday after another usual defeat at Anfield. So we do. Probably more consistently than anything else we do. We just lose at Anfield, regardless. And yeah, got a cup game tomorrow. That's the most important thing. But John, you were there. What did you make of it all?
I think for half an hour it was very disappointing. I mean, how many times?
Not the word that they use, but fair play.
I mean, how many times did we sit here last week, whichever shows they were, and it was all about just turn up, play the way we've been playing. Don't get over concerned about who we're playing, where we're playing, and all that sort of stuff. And then we've spent half an hour doing just that.
Yeah.
And went 2-0 down. From their perspective, 2 good goals. From our perspective, not at all. So.
Yeah, frustrating.
I don't know whether some of that was on the manager or not. What did you think? Whether the players.
I don't know. He cut in his post-match press conference. He said, "Don't know what happened in the first half an hour, but that wasn't the plan."
Okay.
So, can you?
I don't think he'd hide from a decision. So
when
if he says that, then I believe him.
When you send the team out, talking from experience yesterday,
and they don't perform,
and they don't do what you've pointed out to them, all you can do is try to correct it in game. Sometimes in game can be difficult because, especially at Anfield and Derby, and they've got good players and everything else. But I think he pointed out, Moyes, and rightly so, that was Liverpool's third game in 6 days. We should have been running all over them in the opening half.
Should have made it intense, yeah.
And we didn't. We allowed them to have the ball. Okay, they didn't really create anything in the opening sort of 10. But then the first sort of meaningful attack they scored. And it's like, well, okay, but they had the ball and they were quicker to the ball than us all over the pitch.
They were.
And just banging it long to Beto, which is what Pickford started doing, was pointless because no one was running past him. He can't keep it anyway. He's a player that needs balls played in front of him. Yet you want to get him aggressively attacking Konate and Van Dijk. Of course you do. You've got to have people running beyond him. And when we did get into those areas, in the opening sort of 25 minutes, there was nothing really beyond Dewsbury Hall, which was a good move. And he probably should have scored, or at least hit the target. No, he shouldn't have. Not from there. But if you hit across the keeper and he gets an answer with Beto's got a tap in.
Yeah.
I think it's too complicated to pass across the box. There. You're running on your shoulder. You're going to hit it.
No, well, he did it recently and scored. So.
Well, yeah, he's a bit further out, so it's easier. But if he could have hit the target, maybe Alisson parries it and Beto's got a tap in. And then obviously we had another one, I think it was a 2-0, where we had another good move when he did go beyond Grealish and he cut it back, and Idrissa didn't hit it as well as he did in the second half, put it that way. Well, he hit it onto one foot onto the other and bounced to Alisson. But that was really all we had in the first 45 minutes, which isn't good enough. You're playing against the top team with top players, and you haven't given them, because the 2 goals were very good. From our perspective, could they have been stopped? You've got to go with runners. You've got to go with runners. You have.
And we didn't.
And we didn't, and they punished us. Absolutely punished us. So, I don't know whether the tactic was knock it long and get people round Beto.
But we only did one of those 2 then.
So, I don't know whether that's players not wanting to bomb on. But then why did we at 2-0? Did we relax at 2-0? Or we had a chance at 1-0?
But you would have thought that part of the pre-match prep would have been, and their manager, I mean, the start of his post-match was, we played 3 in a week. We weren't good, is basically, and this is the reason. And then you got Pep doing it yesterday, sitting on the edge of his own box, same reason, right? So surely our players knew that our belief was that they might get a bit leggy, yeah. And the intensity, I mean, they've got lots of new players as well. The intensity of a derby has to be experienced to know what it's like, and so on and so forth. And we just made it very easy, I thought. And then it changed a little bit in the last, 10, 15 of the first half. That was just because they just turned the wick down. We're 2-0 up. And they know they've got to conserve energy as well, so they did. But second half, it was chalk and cheese, wasn't it? So
Yeah, it was. I mean, we were the more, if there was a dominant team, Everton were the more dominant team in the second half in terms of getting on the front foot and getting at them. I don't think we caused Liverpool that many issues.
We didn't create much. Huge.
We just kept getting the ball back and going forward, and they hit us on the break because they've got really good players, haven't they? It did all start about the half an hour mark. Not long after they made it 2-0.
29
we started getting on the ball, and it did look as though we'd almost gone. Well, we're 2-0 down, so we can, if we carry on like this, it'll be 5. We may as well have a go. And if it ends 5 because we've had a go, so be it. But that should have been the attitude from the first whistle. Right. Should have been like, let's have a go. If Liverpool batter us, it's cost the better. And he just spent £500 million to make them even better. But we didn't. It was almost like, I don't think we froze, but we just didn't get going.
It was lethargic.
They were intense and we weren't. And then when we stepped the intensity up, we did have the ball all the time. And we did sort of look as though we could do something. And I don't know whether that's just the mentality within players. I don't know. Because what else can you put it down to? If they're cutting through you and cutting you open time and time again, you go, they were good, and we just couldn't live with them. But that wasn't the case. They scored with the first attack. Gakpo possibly should have done better when he hit it into the floor. That was the second attack, and they made it 2-0 with the third attack, and that was it. They only had one more shot on goal, and that was Salah in the second half. And it wasn't like Klopp's Liverpool, where it was just relentless. It was, methodical, and that's the way they play now. They're not the same team as what they were under Klopp.
No.
But from an Everton perspective,
disappointing.
Yeah. So I think also we probably, I understood why he didn't do it because we were right in the game, but maybe we should have gone with the subs 10 minutes early.
I think so.
Dibbling should have been on. They were
warming up for quite a while.
Should have been on. And we should have just mixed it a little bit and gone, right, this is what we're doing for this. We're going to go. We're 2-1 down. They're sort of very wary that we could equalise here. We were getting a lot of joy from Grealish. And we sat on it a little bit. And I know what he's doing with Njai. He's always looking, thinking he can get us a goal from somewhere, but...
He was always the sub, though, wasn't he?
Always, because we've got an option.
Yeah.
Haven't we? We've got another option. And I don't know how else. The only other thing they could have done was when he moved Garner out to midfield, was maybe put Dewsbury Hall further back and gone with it. But obviously, once Dewsbury Hall been booked, you've got to be careful, and you're running. That referee was so poor.
He was.
That anything could happen. But maybe if you're looking at it, you go, that probably was something we could have done better, used our subs.
But when he at a time, and it was late in the first half, of course, he had Dibbling and Barry, and they were warming up. Alcaraz, and it was clearly, and even at half time, they were coming off the pitch and running down the tunnel as if, my mates are saying, we've got to bring Barry on. I said, bring them all on. It might have been too bold, making 3 changes at half time, but certainly make them sooner than we did.
Yeah.
Because they never really got in the game, did they?
Well, no, because they didn't. They only come on. I thought Barry did well when he come up.
I did.
And I think probably now.
His off-the-ball stuff's far better.
Yeah, I think maybe now is the time to
go for it.
Just give him a run.
Yeah.
And have Beto as a sub coming on, and maybe when they're a little bit tired, coming on and knocking people about a little bit.
Start him tomorrow.
Right, he's got to start tomorrow.
And then start him again on Monday. Yeah. Whatever.
I'd start them both. Start them tomorrow, start them Monday, start them against Palace, regardless, and then assess it in the break. And go out, what's he done? How's he done? Okay. Give Beto the last 25 minutes, whatever, just switch the roles and go. You look a little bit off it lately. You did well the other week, but you're looking a bit off it, and we need to go because Barry's the long-term investment.
Of course he is.
Where Beto, you can tell the manager's a little bit. The manager's a bit
Well, we weren't surprised, were we, when he started Beto last time? Before the derby, I mean. But we sort of talked about, would he do it? You know, i.e. do what you just said, which is this thing of one that does about an hour and then or maybe a bit longer, and the other one comes on, just make the starter, Barry. Yeah. But I was watching him and off the ball, and he does all the things Beto doesn't do. You know, he's pulling defenders about. He'd move off Van Dijk and get on Canate and move back again and stuff like that. But both of them had the same problem of not getting any service. So,
yeah,
it's another one of those that if buts, isn't it? It's an if buts game. You know.
Bill, I have to disagree. I absolutely love half 12. It's out the fucking way.
For derbies, you mean?
For every game.
Oh, for every game.
I'd kick out every Everton game off at half. I'd kick it off at 10 a.m. if I could. Wake up and just go and get it over and done with. I hate waiting for games of football. I hate it. Winds me up.
Got a long wait then on Monday.
I know. I'm already annoyed by next Monday. And then nothing's happened. I hate it. It's ruining footy. 8 o'clock kick-offs are just scandalous. Gary Ward says, Hardy, Josh says it, we were shocking for half an hour. The ref was shocking for 90 plus 3 minutes. If you ever needed to see someone more out of their depth, look no further. I suppose we can at least add Dewsbury to the ever-growing lists of first and last to be associated with Everton. Yeah, what a great decision from the referee there. Conor Bradley, 85 fouls, but no booking. But Dewsbury trying to get the game going because his team are getting beaten. There's not long left, and you're booking for it.
Shaq's interview was brilliant, wasn't it?
Jake says, I thought the way we set up in the first place cost us in the end because we were sat so deep and just booted it anyway. It's easy to call Beto crap and whatever, but to play his strengths. Beto's strong point isn't holding the ball up, so why would we expect him to be able to do it? Because, and no one's called him crap as far as I'm aware here, if your game plan is to play long out balls, the lad's got to be able to hold it up. So maybe then Moyes shouldn't have started him then. If he can't do, which is a basic sort of skill that every centre forward should be working on and trying to do, then we're in trouble, aren't we? If he's got to the Premier League and he can't hold the football up, then I think that tells you everything about the Premier League. All this nonsense, that is the best league in the world. Because that's just a basic technical skill.
There was a moment...
But I do believe he can hold the ball up.
Yeah.
But it's about positioning and working with him. But if you think, well, if we keep giving the ball away, we're under pressure here, don't play him. Bring him on when you're trying to cause chaos near the ending. But he just isn't playing well. There's other games where he's held the ball up really well and we've gone...
Oh, he can do it.
To get it.
He can do it.
He's not playing. The last couple of games, he hasn't had good. Didn't have a good game at Villa last week. Didn't have a good game at Anfield. Had a good game at Wolves. Knocked people about. Done well when he came on at Brighton. Knocked people about. Was really poor at Leeds.
There was a moment in the game at the weekend where you couldn't have passed the ball more gently to him, and it sort of bounced a yard away. So that's nothing to do with technical, but it's something else. It's whether it's in his head, concentration, the proximity to whoever's behind him, because he's always thinking about that, and therefore he's not doing the one-on-one stuff.
It's a hill I will die on. Is they need a centre forward coach. They need one.
Yeah,
you know, and Moyes great at 1% here and there. Well, this is the biggest open goal. It's been an open goal.
Yeah,
for years.
It has.
You know, so it's been more of a glaring open goal since Dunk left. But even when we had Dunk, we've still brought in a specialist striker to do a bit of work with the front two. As well as having Duncan there all the time.
I don't know why we wouldn't do it.
Because you want to get the most out of Tierno Barry you can.
No, I'm agreeing with you.
And Beto is a decent finisher at times. So work on that. And look at what else he's not great at, or give him that extra bit of technical help. You can, if you're looking at a couple of lads lower down, younger, bring them into the fold and have 3 or 4, or use your wide players. Bring one in one day a week or twice a month, just to sharpen up, to make them look at little things, maybe what runs them are doing right, what runs them are doing wrong. You know, we've got Leighton Baines, Billy McKinley, David Moyes, Alan Irvine's a winger, but the other three are a midfield and 2 defenders. And we're quite strong defensively. So that's good, because they've got all of that. So bring in someone to work with the front men. And it only has to be on a temporary basis.
I know, yeah, it doesn't have to be a full-time employee.
Look for some percentages.
Someone who gets paid a few bob for coming in one day.
Consultants, they come in and you go, what are you trying to get out of it? Right, look at this. Look, they'll do. They should do, and I'm sure they will. They'll do the homework.
All the data's there.
Look at what's good. Look at what they're not doing so good.
Yeah.
And then give them little runs. Can I make this run near? But when it's wide, where do I need to be? When it's played into me, how is my body? How am I holding it up? Do that. Let them assess it. Build a program into them as well, and give it a go. Try for 3 months. We tried the set piece coach. It didn't work, but we tried one.
Yeah.
At least have a go for it.
That was
see
doing
if that
an
works.
old mate a favour, wasn't it? Yeah. But I mean, and I don't know where he is fitness levels, Beto, because sometimes he looks exhausted. Whether that's nervous energy problems, I don't know. You know, maybe they are linked to why
It's a graft.
Sometimes he's on it and sometimes he isn't.
It's a graft though, on your own up front.
No, I know
hard
it is.
work.
I know it
It's
is.
especially if your wide plays are deep, and therefore you're having to chase between 2 centre backs and a full back. You know, years ago it was dead easy. We were playing up front. I'll do the right back and the right centre half. You do the left back and the left centre half, and you split them.
Yeah.
And everyone gets tight in midfield. If it goes into midfield, one of you
But you know
midfield
that, don't you?
closer. That's what you do. But now there's one. If you're playing with one striker, then they've got a hell of a lot of work to do.
And you know that because that's your formation, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
his fitness levels must be on all the physical tests there.
very good, yeah.
So then it's a mindset thing. Yeah.
Well, it's probably fitness. It's probably just being able to do it.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You
But
don't.
if you know you're going to do a change, I don't know whether they tell players, you know, you're coming off after an hour anyway, so don't save anything for the last 5 minutes, like, because you ain't going to be on the pitch, you know. Anyway, it is.
yeah.
It is.
Paul Robinson says refereeing performances like that make it very difficult for me to take my tinfoil hat off. Fair enough. Little T says, obviously we want to win, but I felt like we were still in with a shout at getting something from the game, even at 2-0. After how we've been the last few years, that'll do for me at their place. First half could have been better. Maybe if Branthwaite was in for Keane, they might have had more trouble scoring. But overall, I wasn't disappointed with the performance. Yeah, fair play. They did recover quite well, really, in all fairness. But then that just leaves you a little bit frustrated as well, because you think, if we'd have started, I mean, you never know how the game. Everton might have started brilliantly, and Liverpool might have battered us. You don't know, because it's all hindsight. But when you look back, you think, when we did go at them, we caused them issues. That's the frustration.
The way you do this, isn't it? And it's like anything, isn't it? Even if you win, you know, you can have the same question that you ask yourself: is could we have got better more out of that game than we did? And if the answer is yes, you have to try and figure out, well, why didn't you then?
Yeah.
Now, if the reason... Sorry, you can't answer that question yes if the other team had just been better than you. In other words, you haven't fulfilled the opportunities that you had. And we did it, you know, at Leeds. We were bloody like Jekyll and Hyde, weren't we, in different 45s, right? And that cost us... We didn't get any points from that. We didn't get any points from this one either. And so it's the old adage, isn't it? If you leave something on the pitch at the end, well, you know, you've let yourself down.
Yeah.
And they may very well have got into the dressing room a bit, and they were really miffed, weren't they, after the Villa game, apparently, the group, about not getting enough out of that one. Is, well, what should we have done differently? And I just can't imagine that, which is why I would go with whatever Moyes said after the match, that he sent them out just to sit off, stay calm, let's ease ourselves in, lads, you know, because that wasn't what you really wanted with a team who clearly in their camp it was, we've already had 2 hard games and this is a third one, and it's an early kick-off, and we've done the Champions League, which we won in the last seconds and all this sort of stuff. So there's an emotional drain there as well, blah, blah, blah. And then we just let them ease themselves into it, because we talked about it, and we will. If the best team wins, it'll be them.
Yeah.
Because they've got the
Simple
better
as.
players
Yeah.
and more better players. I think I put in my article, they've got more better players. So if you make it technical and you make it almost tactical rather than physical, then the pendulum swings way towards them, doesn't it?
Better.
And we'll never
Better
know now
finishes.
whether they, the joy, if you want to call it that we got in the latter part of the first half and then into the second was simply because they just turned the wick down. We're 2-0 up.
I see that to me is always nonsense.
Well, I know.
I love that. Not saying you, I'm saying I hear this. We only done that because they stop it.
I don't think they
if
did.
anyone's ever kicked the football, that's bullshit.
Yeah, because you can't.
Straight off.
And the
You
reason
can't.
you can't, because if you have to turn it back up again,
You can't.
you're in deep shit. Yeah. But it's human nature. If it's easy for you just to relax that
No,
little
but
bit.
this was my point, though. That wasn't easy for them. That
No,
was
it
my
wasn't.
point. Even though they were 2-0 up. If they'd have had like 6-7 chances and it was 2, which they've done in other derbies,
Yeah,
by
that's
the
true,
way,
that's true.
you
Yeah.
go, they have calmed down a little bit to control. I think they just play a more controlled game. They had 3 attempts, real attempts at goal. Anything else they had were blocks or were the same as us in that first half. Without really, they didn't carve us open really. So therefore, they scored 2 really good goals. I mean, the second one's more avoidable than the first, but the first one's still a great run, and we've got to get across. You go with it.
You can always do the freeze frame, can't you? And go, why isn't he tracking the runner? Yeah.
But they've got good players who score good goals. Simple as that.
And that's how it's about us, this really, but play 5-1-5. And
That's what I said.
And majoritively, that's been done by having good individuals doing stuff, everything from worldies from 30 yards out or whatever it is to, taking the one and only chance that you get type of stuff. And that's where the 500 million's gone.
We've got good footballers and they can score goals.
Who'd have thought that Ghana could finish like that, didn't he?
He does do that occasionally.
He does.
Done it last year before.
When he
didn't
scores, they're like that. It's just that there's
It's the
another
other
9
shots when he
which go
leans
in
back.
triple Z, yeah.
Barry says, traditionally Everton have signed the finished product as the main striker, Latchford, Johnson, Yelovich, etc. But players who've developed in the first team have become legends, Joe Royle and Graham Sharp, for example. If we do sign another striker, as pundits are suggesting, I think it'll be someone still in development, as we as fans have to back them 100% and be patient. Rather than moan, they aren't the solution. The issue with trying to sign a finished article striker is they cost a lot of money. And everyone's looking for them, aren't they? Harrison says, I'm not too frustrated with losing there, as we mostly do. I'm more annoyed at dropping points against Villa. Yeah, I still am fuming with that Villa one. It was a terrible result for Everton that day. Tom says, in my opinion, we need to give Barry a run of games now. He brings other players into the game, this hold-up play, whereas the attack breaks down whenever we need Beto to hold it up. Second half was much better and we gave a good account of ourselves. On to West Ham now, let's get those 3 points. That referee, by the way, absolutely disgraceful. Yeah, he was rubbish.
They couldn't even get corners right.
Our corners are terrible. Was interesting seeing Jack Grealish try to just carve it in the net in the last seconds rather than volley.
I didn't see that.
No, he just got the timing wrong off the corner and hit it up in the air.
Right.
But it sort of hit
was his calf.
It's sort of like his calf rather than his boot,
right.
off the side of his leg. Paul says, I think we're improving week by week. We changed our style of play this season. I still think Beto and Barry are trying to figure out how to play within our new style. Wolves, for me, is the big game. More concerned around how the game was officiated than the results. Just wasn't fair in the run of decisions for me. I know, but when have we... I agree, by the way, but I can never remember me coming away from an Anfield derby going, referee was really good there, he was fair. Mainly it's, we got nothing, and we never do there. So, the last one I can probably remember was maybe when we got a penalty and Rooney scored on about 2018 or something.
There was definitely a couple of
Whatever it was,
occasions when decisions were given soon after the Liverpool fans asked for it. And all his stopping of play and messing about with throw-ins, and basically what he ended up choosing to book someone for was farcical.
And then he didn't add the time on at the end. And the commentators, it was literally LFC TV.
Oh, TNT, yeah, my mate said, yeah.
I mean, even Ali McCoy was joining in, and scandalous really. But the other fella he was commentating was dreadful, like real, like Liverpool loving. Right. But even they were saying Liverpool are wasting about a minute every time they get a free kick.
See, I did my Fergie time. Yeah. And the referee played nearly a minute longer than I would have done.
There was 6 subs, which is 3 minutes.
No, I know.
And then this is what they were saying.
No, I know.
They were saying every time Liverpool get a free kick, it's nearly a minute has elapsed before they kick the ball.
I know.
So it should have been about 8 minutes, but he put 3 on.
The thing is, and this is something that needs looking at, I guess, is it was a minimum of 3 minutes, and he played 54 seconds longer than I would have done. So let's say that's within it's just less than 4 minutes then. Yeah. Now, of course, what I don't do is decide how much extra time there is. I just stop my watch when the game stops, like physio's coming on or whatever, right? And I read all goals, all substitutions and those sorts of things. But what I don't do is add on 30 seconds per round of subs. When the play stops for a sub to come on, I stop my watch. When the whistle goes to start the game. Well, I guess in a way I'm questioning, do they?
Well, that's what they do. That's what they're supposed to do.
No, I know. That's why I'm asking, do they? Because there was I think there was 5 groups of subs, wasn't there? So that should have been 2.5 minutes. And then there's a goal in the second half. What's that, 30 seconds? That's 3 minutes. There you go.
Minutes, I think they give for a goal.
I don't know. So if they have that automatic of actually adding on those things, then it should be very easy to prove that he didn't do what he should have done, because we can all see how many subs there were. We can all see how many goals there were.
Everything's minimum of 5 minutes now. Everything.
Well, we know in real life, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Even Villa last week there was 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And there was less stoppages than there was. But anyway, it is what it is. He was poor, the ref. Dave Murphy says, goal aside, I thought Guy wasn't anywhere near his own high levels. He was mostly responsible for both goals for not tracking his players.
He certainly didn't track his player for one of them, yeah, absolutely.
Bill says, shame he didn't turn up that first half hour. I think we often go in too nervous and too scared of what they'll do to us.
We're different players.
Rather than taking that.
Sorry.
Come on. It's a mentality thing. It's understandable how everything is on their side at home, the crowd, the refs, the fact they've spent $2 billion on their team. They're very good going forward, but we've improved. Shame we only showed the second half. Beto can't hold it up consistently enough. Hopefully we see Barry now with a run going forward. He needs it to develop. It's galling that we seemingly lose this one every year, but after years of scraping around, we are getting better. And we do have a chance to beat them no matter what TNT, LFC TV thinks. Come on, you Blues. Jay says the annual Anfield disappointment doesn't move me anymore. That's the saddest thing. It's a derby in name only. What I can't accept, though, is these officials that rock up week in, week out and make, in plain sight, make it almost impossible to beat or win. Listen, the referees are poor, and you can forget about Everton games. Just go and watch any other game. The referees are terrible. They're terrible. I watched a bit of Wolves and Leeds on Saturday. Terrible officiating. Bit of Brentford and Chelsea. Absolutely diabolical refereeing. It's just not good enough. It's not good enough. But no one seems to be asked about it. Everyone just sort of goes, oh well, keeps the teams we need to be near the top. It's sound. Howard Webb's done a brilliant thing of coming in and making it worse. So he should get some sort of special award for that, because it was almost like below, lower than the snake's belly refereeing standards, and he's made it even worse, that's some job.
He came in, didn't he, saying we need to improve in all these areas.
Yeah,
and then he does that joke thing with Michael Owen.
Yeah, it's Michael Owen. Jesus Christ.
And it's just, it's appalling.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It really is.
Mark Mack says, seems we have Patterson until at least January. If we're chasing the game, he should be an option to give us more attacking options from fullback. How many changes would you like to see for Tuesday? I think he's got to play Asnu. I think he's got to play Barry, Roll, Dibbling.
Jake?
Just anyone.
Jake as a centre-back?
No.
No?
Even where he is.
So no Seamus, none of that, no.
It's not going to help us.
Miko?
Miko out. 100% out the team.
So
For
that's
Arsenal.
new, yeah. But on the bench, just...
Then
That's 4.
midfield, at least 4, but I'd probably make 7. Because...
So who would the other 3 be then?
Don't know. Just give anyone a game.
Brest Grealish?
Yeah.
Dewsbury Hall?
Yeah.
Because he's on bookings and in League Cup counts, doesn't it? Or does it?
I don't know.
He's got one
Just,
left,
yeah,
hasn't
take
he?
them out, yeah.
Because if he got booked and they do count...
Get rolling. I'd
then
take Idrissa out, to be fair.
Yeah.
I think he needs a rest anyway.
Yeah.
So Garner in midfield.
Irabunum come in.
Alcaraz has got to play.
Irabunum.
No, because Roll's got to play. So my
You'll play
midfield
both,
3 would be
yeah.
Garner, Roll and Alcaraz. Would be me 3.
Start Barry.
Barry's got to start. Dibling's got to start.
So that's and die out then.
Or maybe unless you put in Jai on the left.
Yeah.
Leave Grealish out.
Yeah. That's
On
the
the
way of
bench,
doing
I
it.
mean. Not out.
No, I know what
on
you
the
mean.
bench.
Yeah.
O'Brien. See, the problem is centre-backs, isn't it?
Keenan Tarks. Yeah.
I'd leave Pickford in as well. No. He might play Travers, but I wouldn't. I'd leave Jordan in.
I would.
They've got 5 days rest after tomorrow and play till Monday night.
That's right, yeah.
So Sarkovsky, Keane and O'Brien should stay in and Ashley should come in. But Jared might be available. You just don't know. You don't know. Jared might be on the bench. I'm saying he is, but he trained last week. Whether or not the manager thinks
Start him or not.
it's worth it, or he might think, no, leave him another 3 or 4 days and then West Ham.
If he's on the bench, you'd like to think the game's settled one way or another, and then he comes and gets a bit of a run out, wouldn't you?
But
it'll be a strong bench whichever way, because they'll all sit on the
but
bench.
that's it, isn't it? That's it. So there's the options are there. They think there's no. I mean, don't even know if Rolls fit. He missed the derby, so with the knock. So it's whether he's fit or not. But if he's available, for me, has to play. I think Dibling's got to play. If you're not playing him in this, then what are we doing? Barry's got to play. Alcaraz has got to play. Got to get these lads up to speed for the league games.
Because they're all guys who consider themselves starters.
Well, Wolves have lost every game.
Yeah.
Bar the cup game against West Ham.
They should be focusing on the Premier League, shouldn't they, really?
I think it's the other way.
You have to play a strong team.
They need a win.
Yeah.
They need a result. He needs a result.
Yeah, true.
I watched them on Saturday. Leeds were terrible, but Wolves were even worse. And I don't know how you managed to be slightly worse than Leeds were awful. Scored 3.
I never watched it.
Scored 3 really good goals, by the way.
Did they?
Free kick was unbelievable. Dom scored a good header, and
wasn't he all on his own or something? Was that poor defending? No, I'm not talking his thing down. They left him some space.
He pulled off the back of the lad and headed it, just like sort of flicked it on it, went in the top corner. And Okafor, Wolves started to play out from the back. He just nicked it, give it to him, and he finished it really well. So, but Wolves were poor. Really, really bad. So they'll be blood and thunder, I imagine, because they've got to be. They've got to be, but, you know, depends how much stock you put in it.
The stats are hammering that playing out from the back now, aren't they?
I always look at it at the kids' level, but we can see it, and I think, why do these teams? About 2 of them do it in the Premier League with any real sort of real success.
Sure.
Everybody else ends up just hoofing it. So it's like they're elite footballers trying to do it and can't do it. Like Liverpool trying to play out. The odd time they played out brilliantly, but other times it ended up going back on Van Dijk, just smashed it up in the air because they're putting them under pressure. So it's great if you get sucked in and they just go boop, boop, and you're gone. Do you know what I mean? But just let it.
There was an article last week which fundamentally said what you've just said, which is those teams who play out from the back concede more goals as a consequence than those who don't.
Just let them go ahead. Yeah. If I'm coaching there, Anfield on Saturday, I'd have gone. When they've got a goal kick, let them have it. Sit on the halfway line, say, come on then. The
long ball's coming back.
They'll end up. Well, it's a long pass, isn't it? I mean, there was this weird.
It was slagged as being the long ball. There was this weird thing and all that
came in.
Yeah.
And the idea is get the ball into that final third as quickly as you can. AC Milan were an unbelievable team in the 90s. They got the ball from back to front quicker than any other team in Europe.
That's how we considered 2 goals.
Tremendous goal. Tremendous team. And they had the ability in that final third, and they killed you with it. And they were exciting to watch, even an Italian side, where it was all tactical. Because it was about getting it up to that area where the damage is done. Not arsing about with it at the back, trying to, you know, because coaches have egos. So they all try to play through it. Where the right way to play football is a hybrid of it all. Yeah. If the team goes, all right, we're going to stand on the halfway line, not press it, then of course you play it and then just pass it round. But you're still trying to look for someone to be 1v1, to beat someone, to create a bit of space. But you go charging in and they, you know, the thing that annoys me when you're playing against the press, when you are doing the press, is when one person goes. Oh. So he leaves a big hole. Dwight McNeil's great for it. Leaves a big gaping hole, runs around like a madman. No one sits in for him. And therefore, there's a big space, and they just go, and they're gone. Or Beto goes running. Someone else goes, and then nobody else goes.
Yeah,
so
it's all or nothing. It's got to be all or nothing, doesn't it?
So that's when then teams can cut you apart. But I think for us, and Wolves done it terribly on Saturday. The 2-1 down. They were winning 1-0. Conceded 2 goals in, I don't know, maybe like 10 minutes or something. From nowhere, really. Dom's header, and then Leeds got a bit of like you said, the free kick was a worldie. And then they're trying to pass out from the back, and Leeds just like,
thank you.
Well, we'll just come and press you then. And they just passed the ball straight to them. Bang, bang, bang. I think 2 passes, and it was in the back of the net. And you were just like, you were back in the game at 2-1. Still in the game at 2-1. So
scored 3 goals in 14 minutes, yeah. Leeds.
And it was game over because Wolves couldn't get themselves back in it.
Yeah.
So that's why it's going to be tricky on tomorrow night, because they should be fired up, but then we should be fired up because we should be looking, going, these aren't very good. They're struggling with confidence. I imagine Molyneux will be half full because they're not the natives didn't look happy on Saturday. And then you've got to play on it.
Wolves XG was more than 3 times Leeds' in that game.
So, Leeds got away. Listen, Leeds are all effort, right? And that might garner them some points. But ultimately, they've got very little quality and they'll go down. I think, personally. I think they'll certainly be in that scrap near the end, whether they can get out of it. But Wolves, there was just big holes when you broke, and if they play like that against us, you'd like to think we could exploit it, but we did the other week. You know, we got 3. You were there. We got 3. We should have got 5 or 6 really that day.
True. We shouldn't have conceded.
No, but it was the soft goals we conceded. That's right. With the worry. But there you go.
But we'll have learned from that, hopefully.
We've got to perform, haven't we? No matter what, we've got to perform.
And we know, by the way, because we were talking about how many changes, and you talked yourself up to 6 or 7 or something. But at 4, it's not a huge drop-off, is it?
No.
And that's the difference. There's a bit of depth there, isn't
it? I do accept that making wholesale changes means you generally don't get a decent performance.
Yeah.
They're not, you lads aren't used to playing with each other and all that. Maybe the extra couple of days for the West Ham game might change the manager's mind. He might go, actually,
I don't have to.
I'll do 3, maybe, or 4 maximum, but we're still keeping our main core. Maybe he'll do that just to get some rhythm going. Because if Everton go to Wolves and win again tomorrow night, and they're in the next round, that's a big, like, we've got beat to Liverpool, but we're back and we've won.
Yeah, and then we've got
positivity. Then
got a team who's struggling.
Getting Graham Potter to sack on Monday night will have to be the MO then, won't it? Yeah. Go out and destroy West Ham.
And then a big game against Palace, who are in good form.
I watched them at the weekend. Wasn't impressed.
Aren't they?
No. They were just Palace, aren't they? They're just effort. And they've got Mateta, who's a handful. West Ham were poor as well, but West Ham could have got at 1-1. They had chances, West Ham.
Do they?
So Palace are Palace. They've always got those players.
They always start well.
They'll end up 12th.
Always.
They always do the same thing. They're exciting some weeks, other weeks they don't perform. That's just what they're like. They're a good, a good Premier League team to watch.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They do brilliantly with giving the budget. They coach really well with Glasner. Fans are really good,
lot, aren't they? Yeah.
Fans are really good.
Yeah.
And they could do, if they get on a little run in Europe, they could do really well in Europe, because they are a big, like, physical side, so they'll give everyone a game. But I look at them and think, we get at them the way we can. We can beat West Ham and Palace. And we'll go into that break then before City. 13 points, if we were to win the 2 home games. 13 points, that'd be a really good start going to City, and then that'd cement us in the top 8 because we have to top to 10.
Yeah, there's a bit of tipping point there, isn't it? Which is the Villa game's let us down, because if we'd won the Villa game, clearly we'd have 2 more points already. But now it literally does come. We've got to beat West Ham.
This was the danger when we didn't beat Villa.
That's what I mean, yeah.
Because we had Liverpool, this was the danger. But all we can, and again, league tables mean nothing, do they? All we can do is just keep topping the points up.
It's about points.
And it's when teams like Newcastle got on a great run, and Forest last season got on a great run from nowhere, and people were like, these are doing well. They got those wins. When they've got like West Ham at home and Palace at home, they'd win the pair of them. And it might be 1-0 and 2-1, might be tight wins, but they got the points. And then all of a sudden it just becomes momentum. You nick a goal. We're not doing that yet. Like Villa, Sunderland scored against them yesterday with 10 men. Things like that. And we're missing open goals against them last week when we needed to score. Michael Keane jumping through early instead of just timing it right and heading it into an empty net to win it for us in the 94th minute. Gets underneath it. His other one was a good head and a great save, but it's those moments. Beto's missed kicking twice in front of the goal. You're in the centre of the goal, and the ball comes in, all you got to do is divert it past the keeper.
Get anything on it.
That should be a goal,
absolutely.
And those teams who had a great run and got into Europe were taking those moments, and we haven't done that so far. We've Leeds away. Alcaraz a shot the near post. That creeps in for some other clubs who hasn't done it for us. So we've got to start. These next 2 home games for me, I think are really great opportunities for 6 points for Everton.
Yes.
To go into that international break and go, that's all right. 7 games, 13 points. That's a great return. We're well there.
For us, that's fine.
Because I think we've got City away, then I think we've got Fulham at home. Don't lose away after that, and then we've got Newcastle at home.
3 out of 4.
United away. So we've got tricky games again. But that's the opportunity. And if we're going to do anything this year and stay in that top half, West Ham, Palace, Fulham at home have got to be 9 points. You've got Tottenham as well, haven't we? Sorry.
I think that's important because you keep referencing where you are in the league, because it's all about points, as we often talk about. But the anxiety, particularly in a fan base, comes from position, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If you're in the top half, you might only be a point above a team way below you.
It just looks better, and everyone feels better.
And I noted yesterday, there's 5 points between first and second. There's also 5 points between second and 15th.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
Right.
That's the early days.
So you're talking about we win 6 points from the next 2 games. We can shoot right up that.
Absolutely, and again, and then it does.
And you will still be tight on points, but
but there will be starting to be a gap.
Yeah,
the gaps appear
because not every team's going to win the next 2 games. And so you end up, as you imply, sort of solidifying yourself around 7th-ish, say, and you think, that's cool, right where we want to be, right on the cusp of the European places. We're going to get better because we've got development players who are, and all that sort of stuff. And then Moisey starts using the squad to give us benefit next year when it all gets hard and difficult, because you've got loads of games in your legs and stuff like that. So it just makes these games critical for different reasons.
We've got it.
Last season, the season before, they've been critical because we started badly and now we've got to win. Now we've started okay. We want to make it a good start rather than an okay start.
Yeah, we've got to it's about trying to get wins. Sometimes we won't play well and we might nick a win. Just seen a couple of people talking about the set pieces. Absolutely. We'd get a goal from, okay, we're a much better football team. We score goals from open play. That's brilliant. That's what we needed to do. But we also need those corners flicked on into goal from nowhere. And Arsenal do it better than anybody.
Of course they do.
And that is what we've got to get. We're a big team. We should be, when Liverpool give corners away on Saturday, their arse should have been gone. When you looked at our team, they're all 6'3" and 6'4" man mountains. The corners come in and they're just floated, or they're too close to the goalie, you just pats it away.
More the latter, aren't they? Yeah.
You're like, that's an opportunity. A chance off a corner, bending the ball in underneath the bar where someone flicks it. Like, where have they gone? in swinging ball to that almost under the crossbar where you just get a little flicker to goal. Where are these goals for us? Because we don't get them. And what are we working on?
We've got to bring pressure to the teams who we're playing. That in Grealish and Ndai, they're players who are going to turn. They're going to run away. You're either going to clatter into them, give a free kick away. You think, oh bugger. Now they've got a set piece. Or let him go. Oh, bugger. He knows what to do with it. You know what I mean? So it all accumulates, doesn't it? Putting pressure onto a defensive team. I mean, they played at Bournemouth, fella, didn't they? And he might, what's his name? The fullback?
Kirkus.
You know, who's having a real difficult start to his career there. But for the majority of the game, he was in his slippers. So this is all right. You know, I can do this.
And Jai did beat him a couple of times. And Jai had 9 dribbles, I think he did.
Yeah, I know. But the point being, we might have thought they're not going to play him because of his weakness defensively, and then they do, and that goes back to we didn't go on the front foot again. So he eased himself in. Anyway, let's just win the next 2 games. The next 3, and everything's fine.
3 wins, and we'll all be bouncing.
Absolutely,
into that international break, won't we?
Yeah.
And again, I don't think me personally, I don't think you could handpick 2 better games.
Oh.
Really, because West Ham
and at home
are dreadful. And Palace are a team that we do all right against in general. Yeah. And are open. They play open footy, so you can beat them. You can beat them, and you know, and there's enough of a threat about them that you have got to be wearing. You know, you have to get stuck in and you have to match them. So got to go and do it. Ian says, afternoon lads and fellow Blues, I've thought for a long time that we have a severe mental blockage at Anfield. If we went after them from minute 1, we would have stood a chance. Barry gets a run for me. Gary Wall says the ref was a joke and not a very funny one either. Correct. Bill says hopefully see some different players tomorrow. We need to see Asnu and Patterson if they can. I don't think Patterson's going to get a chance. I personally don't. I think his...
Mine made up.
I think they're basically counting the days down till January, the both of them. We'll see. I mean, I don't know, but it just feels like that. It feels as though it's done. Arsenal's obviously a very different thing. Paul Davis says, just finished the Angus Kinnear interview. Really enjoyed listening to what he has to say about the ins and outs of running a football club. Yeah, he was very good. David Eeyore says, Moyes got it wrong in my opinion, but people using the excuse it's the RS who are champions and won every game.
Are you reading something about it?
I don't know. No, I'm just thinking that... Are you saying it's Liverpool and they've won every game? So it's difficult.
No, I think he's saying it was more to do with the way the manager set us up than the fact that they're a much better team.
Oh, okay.
I think that's what that's...
Yeah, but the manager... Okay.
But the manager said post-match they didn't do as they were told. So.
Yeah. David Murphy says that referee, though, how poor are these Premier League referees? I can't name one who's even average. Kudos to Howard Webb, who's turned a failing organisation into a complete skip fire, is beyond comprehension. Yeah, and probably gets paid tons of money. Jake says, just meant in general, but I've seen a lot of fans saying, Beto's crap. We know what his strengths and weaknesses are, so why don't we play to it? In my opinion, he shouldn't be starting games. He should be the one to come on. I think that's what might happen now, Jake. Get him on and let him cause chaos for sort of the last 25 minutes. I think that's the only way we're going to really see if Tierno Barry can step up. And he's a young player, so you want him to grow. He's the one we've made the investments in. So I think he's got to be given the opportunity. David Murphy says, Beto's technically not good enough. Well, he's a great one-touch finisher, but it's clear if he isn't provided the bespoke ball into the path of his run, he's a passenger. Rai says, don't quite understand where the 3 minutes comes from. I counted multiple times it took Liverpool over a minute to take a free kick, and isn't it supposed to be a minute added on per sub? I think it's 30 seconds for the sub. But the free kicks, when Fletcher, I think, was commentating, is highlighting that Liverpool are taking over a minute to take every free kick, then there's an issue, isn't there? So,
poor refereeing is the issue, yeah.
James is just following up as on Business with Blaine about the Villa game. I'm guessing why it took so long for you to get to the game. Me and my mate from work were getting the train and had 3 trains, 12 to 1, cancelled on the rail line, so no option to drive in. Also spoke to a lad at work. He got the soccer bus back to Lime Street. £2 it was, but it took him an hour and a half. Something to do with roadworks along the route. It's grim, isn't it? That's grim. Roadworks when they know there's going to be tons of traffic. Dan W says TNT referred to one of the Liverpool players as velvet feet. Chris Davies, afternoon fellas here. John's been to the new cafe at the stadium, said it was good. I'm thinking of treating my wife there this weekend. Do we?
Go for it, yeah. Go in the shop, spend some money. Yeah.
Dan says we need to exercise some demons. The refs, the league, the media against us, but we're close to being a really good team. We owe someone in this league a beating too. Talking 4 or 5 nil. Let's do it on Monday. Let's do it tomorrow and Monday. Boxy says,
hey, Boxy.
Definitely better second half. However, go and beat West Ham and Palace, and that'll be another 7 points earned before the next international break. Compared to the last few seasons, that's a great start. No, it absolutely is. Robert says, afternoon, gents. I'm not sure what frustrated me more, the opening 30 minutes or the referee. Thought the extra time was ridiculous, and don't get me started on the multiple missed fouls and quick free kicks. Yeah. Mike Barrett says we were never getting any decisions there when Henderson got a free kick for pulling his hamstring. Says it all. Remember that, yeah? Mike Barrett says, the rules for additional time. Everton losing 3 to 5 minutes. Everton winning 5 to 15 minutes. That is correct. Dave Murphy says, personally, I wouldn't rest any players. But he will. So, you're kidding yourself. He's got to play Tierno Barry. He's got to play Merlin Roll. He's got to play Tyler Dibbling. Charlie Alcaraz. For me, have all got to play.
I agree. The direction for referees on things like substitutions and the like is to add the actual time, not a set amount of 30 seconds.
Well, that's good then, because 30 seconds, 100 times out of 100 is too little for how long the sub takes. Because players walk off, go down, shake 7 people's hands. It always takes 45 to a minute, and it never happens.
So it's interesting that the commentators were talking about it's 30 seconds per sub, and it isn't. It's whatever it really is. Yeah. But
they don't do that.
But the long drawn out free kicks thing that basically the RS
for me that's just cheating as much as when you say the goalkeeper takes too long. Getting a free kick and sitting down and going, we'll take it in a minute, and having an argument. I want it, you want it, move it there, move it back, move it to, and you move, and doing all the kid all. It's clever. It's what I'd be doing. But what I mean is, you're getting punished if you're a goalie.
But 30 odd seconds is spent with that, and of course the old trick is to put the ball down in the wrong place, so the referee makes you move it, and it just shows how little referees know about football. And the booking for Dewsbury Hall just proved this referee knew nothing about football.
Oh, well, Everton had only lost 1 game in 11 under that referee.
Now it's 2 and 12.
So there you go.
They'd only won 1 in 5. Now it's 2 and 6.
They're buzzing.
Yeah.
Right.
They probably got told off. The stats were wrong. Yeah.
Like, subscribe, do all that. We'll see you later. Bye.